Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome to the Summer Fades into Fall YouTube Hop. This is brought to you by a bunch of scrappers from the Scrappy Inspiration YouTube / Instagram Facebook group, where basically almost every month we have come to you with a hop with different sort of themes. And this month, wrapping up, we are doing Summer Fades into Fall. So September is very much that transitional month where it's still in some places warm enough to be summer, some places it's turning into fall, some places it is fall or autumn depending on what you prefer to call it. And so it's a great one to kind of get the last bit of your summer scrapped, or if you're a huge fan of autumn, I am, you can start scrapbooking your autumn layouts and getting into that type of vibe. So I have decided to go ahead and scrapbook this absolutely gorgeous sunset we had a couple weeks ago before all the smoke came in and settled in on my area for we had it for a good solid week of smoke from the fires from California and Oregon and Washington. But this is what it looks like when there is not smoke. And it was just gorgeous. And it's one of the things I love about the end of summer is the sunsets. It's got this crispness to it that doesn't seem to happen at the beginning of summer, and I really can see the difference. So I definitely want to get this scrapped, and I love it. I love how it showcases that we're on the farm now, and it's just a completely different view and vibe than when we were living in the old house. So that's my plan. And I'm cheating a little bit because I'm going to be doing this as a loving your scraps video, even though it's Monday. I really want to go ahead and use some stuff up. So I grabbed 2 bags actually. I have this bag, which is Halloween / fall stuff. And I just am gonna grab some stuff out of it that speaks, obviously the fallish. I don't need any Halloween stuff, but things that speak fallish to me, I'm gonna go ahead and pull those out. And I'm just going to find a cut file, I think, and maybe do a little bit of cutting of some leaves or something. I know I've got, here it is. I've got just a few things. There's not much, but there's a few. And then, of course, because the sunset was so gorgeous and it's got these orange and pinks, I've got the orange here, that's fine. But I'm gonna go into my actual scrap bag here and find some pinks that are going to go ahead and mix with what I want to do. So that's my plan. I'll get you on fast forward and we'll see what I can come up with. The first thing I'm going to do is figure out what pattern paper I want to use to back that photo. I'm thinking of pink. The back of my mind is like there's pink in the sunset, so a pink will help bring that color to focus. However, I actually ended up finding that wasn't the right answer. It wasn't highlighting the photo in the way that I was hoping that it would. So I go through a bunch of things, and what I end up finding is this gorgeous wood grain. It's got a lovely little whitewash to it, and it's like wood you would find on a deck maybe. Anyways, it's gorgeous and I love it. And that worked really well, and it gave off the pop to the photo without it blending into anything else. So really like that. My next plan is, what type of design am I going to do? I had no plans other than the fact that I wanted this photo. I was going to go on to Silhouette and cut some form of leaf cut file in some way. I found one that was called Dipped Leaves. I do believe it might be Paige Evans-esque cut file. Don't quote me on that, but I think that it is. So that is all I had going for me. Other than that, I really was not sure. So I got my base down, and then I found this pattern paper that backside is the one with the orange leaves that is so gorgeous, and that is just a beautiful, beautiful floral that I've kind of been hoarding. But when I flipped it over to this black and orange type pattern with my photo, it just looked so good together. I sacrificed the orange. So I did cut a little chunk out of it so I can make a leaf with it. So that's fine. I'm good with that. I also wanted another little pop of something. So you can see that I trimmed and got a little bit of that Aztec-y type teal color as just a little strip there. And it just gives it a nice pop, something there, so it's not all kind of those darker tones, which is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with using all dark tones, but I did want a couple pops of brightness to this layout as well. All right, done all of that. My base is down. I've got that part figured out. Got my leaves cut out with my silhouette. However, I didn't have it either to cut far enough into the paper or what it is. I know it's not my blade. I just got a brand new blade. So I don't think I quite have the settings right, but it took me a moment. They're all fixed. I've got them all figured out. And then I went on to Pinterest and did my favorite thing, which is I went into my titles board. Within there, there's all sorts of little quotes and sayings and just examples of titles you can use. And that is where I find my titles. So people ask me all the time, where are your titles coming from? I love the way you do titles. That's what I do. I find an idea of the theme of what the layout's supposed to be. And if it's not in there, I search. I just go like autumn quotes and I find something that works for me. I don't always use the entire quote. Sometimes I just take little bits of it. There's lots of ways to do it. On this particular layout, I'm going to use the entire quote. And it says, September, you are the doorway to the season that awakens my soul. I am such an autumn person. So this was perfect. Love October, as I find most scrapbookers do. And I love that because this photo was taken, I might be lying a little, it might have been taken in August, but it was close enough to September that it works. And it's just that last little bit of summer before it turns into fall and it's all crisp and cool and the leaves are crunchy and you get to wear boots and sweaters and all the fabulous parts about autumn. And so that's what September is that transitional month. And my biggest tip for you when it comes to doing titles like that, especially when they're longer, is find a piece of plastic that you can lay over your layout and place your title so that you have an idea of how it's going to lay and that you're happy with it. It keeps you from having to move things around a whole bunch. And I highly recommend it when it's such a long title. Shorter titles, maybe not so much, but longer ones for sure. It's a great way to save some time to make sure that you've got everything lined up and it's pleasing to your eye. So a little tip there. All right, I've got the idea. I'm going to lay down this title, but then I was like, wait, I want to do a tiny bit of mixed media. It's not very much. I'm mixing my super light shade of Cotton Candy along with my corally color that I have. I think it's called Caribbean Sunset. I love these two colors together. When you mix them up and then you roll it out, so you take a little bit of the color away, it's the perfect light reddish pinky color that I was looking for. And it's just a tiny bit there. So most of it's going to get covered up with the leaves, but it's a pop of color to highlight that pink in the photo one more time. So that was my plan. Nothing crazy with mixed media, just this little tiny bit to help me get the vibe I was wanting. All right, I've got that part down. I'm going to lay everything right back down to the way it was. The leaves probably move a little bit than what I originally had them, but that's fine. That part doesn't really bother me. And I'm going to start laying down my title. I also have this little card that says what I'm grateful for, and I write down that little bit there. Things like my family and my job and our health and all of that. And then to finish it off, I add a few embellishments that really kind of represent the season for me. And of course, I have to get a few sequins added in there. It is still September, so I'm still trying to use sequins as much as possible. So I sprinkle a little bit of that. And that does it for this layout. Please make sure you head on over, check out all the links below so you can keep hopping along and seeing all the other amazing layouts that are going to be up for you today. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my channel. I always appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time. Let's see, it's the 28th. So one more video up this month for me, layout-wise, a bunch of shares. And then we're going to kick off 30 days of sketches. So I hope that you're excited for that. I know I am. And there's lots of people joining in this round. So stay tuned. look at my finished layout. I'll see you all soon. Bye.